In pro sports, it's expected for athletes to maintain a high level of sportsmanship and etiquette throughout competition. This rings true even more so when looking at the PGA. Phil Mickelson once said, "The object of golf is not just to win, it's to play like a gentleman and win." Well, unfortunately, the game doesn't always play out like that, and sometimes players just can't get along. In fact, through the history of the PGA, there have been several players on tour who straight up just couldn't stand each other. Keeping that in mind, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at PGA players who hated each other. Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth. Now, there wasn't always bad blood between these two. However, feuds tend to emerge between two people who are extremely different or extremely similar. And in this case, it's their differences that stirred up this conflict. Spieth is a very old school type of player, meaning that he keeps quiet and tries not to make any waves when it comes to getting involved with tour drama. Reed, on the other hand, is a little more outspoken, which can lead to conflict. In 2013, they both finished at 14 under and went head-to-head at the Wyndham Championship. Reed won it on the second hole after making a tough tee shot that went right into the pines, but he made an amazing second shot recovery, leading him to drain his birdie putt. Spieth even said at the time that it was one of the best shots he's ever witnessed. Okay, so far so good between these two. In 2014, the two played 6 rounds together where Spieth got the best of Reed 3 times, Reed beat Spieth twice, and they tied once. So they seem to be going back and forth quite a bit, but still no fireworks yet. But then in 2018, it became apparent that the relationship between these two is not really existent. Patrick Reed was denied relief by an official at Bay Hill and grumbled to himself, "I guess my name needs to be Jordan Spieth." Shortly after, at the WGC match play, Reed made a joke about having carried Spieth at the Ryder Cup. Okay, so 2 passive-aggressive comments. Clearly something has been brewing here in the background for some time now. Then the real fireworks happened later that year in Paris, where the two didn't play together at the Ryder Cup, and Reed, in an interview with the New York Times, said, "The issue's obviously with Jordan not wanting to play with me. I don't have an issue with Jordan. When it comes down to it, I don't care if I like a person I'm paired with or if the person likes me, as long as it works out and it sets up the team for success." Clearly, Spieth wasn't a fan of those prior 2 remarks, and rather than retaliating and airing out his dirty laundry like Reed did, he just requested to not play with Reed in Paris, sending him a message in his own way. Obviously, this is pretty mild stuff as far as this list goes, and these two ended up squashing their beef in 2019. But I can't help but think if this happened with Reed and anyone else on tour, this could have easily snowballed into something much bigger. Tommy Bolt and Eric Brown. Tommy Bolt, who was a well-accomplished golfer winning 15 tournaments on the PGA Tour from 1950 through to 1965, was often referred to as Thunderbolt. Bolt was known for his explosive temper that was frequently on display, and unfortunately for him, his temper overshadowed his career as a pro golfer. As for Eric Brown, while playing out of Scotland, they called him the Fiery Scot, who was best known for his success in his home country as he won the Scottish PGA Championship 8 different times. On top of that, he was also well known for his success in Ryder Cup single matches, which brings us to when he met Tommy Bolt. When these two matched up together, it was a formula for disaster. Brown was known as a speedy player, so trying to play mind games, Bolt began to play at a very slow pace. So slow that the fans began to even heckle him. While this was happening, Brown whispered into his caddy's ear, and the caddy ran off to the clubhouse, leaving Brown to carry his own bag. Where did his caddy go? Well, he soon returned with a folding chair in hand as Brown asked him for a chair to sit on while Bolt took his sweet time lining up his shots. Clearly, there was animosity between these two. Bolt continued to take forever to play a single stroke, so Brown unfolded his chair and waited it out. In the end, Brown took the victory, and the two did not shake hands. Bolt reportedly snapped on Brown, saying, "Can't say I enjoyed that game." And apparently, Brown responded saying something along the lines of, "I don't suppose you did, since you got stuffed." Tom Watson and Gary Player. About an hour and a half after Gary Player won $150,000 with a 5-foot birdie putt on the 17th hole in a skins game golf event back in 1983, Tom Watson accused Gary Player of cheating on the previous hole by removing a rooted leaf that was resting up against his ball. From 30 feet away, Tom Watson could be heard saying, "I'm accusing you, Gary. "You can't do that. I'm tired of this. I wasn't watching you, but I saw it." Gary Player could be heard defending himself, saying at one point, "I was within the rules." Watson maintained his belief that Player knowingly or unknowingly cheated and issued a statement the following day that said, "If we overlook the rules, then the game as we know it would become something much less than it is. My greatest regret, though, is that this private matter became a public incident." After removing the leaf, Gary Player then chipped with a sand wedge from 60 feet to within 8 inches. With both Tom Watson and Gary Player making par 3s on the 16th to create another $30,000 carryover in the two-tie all-tie format, the 570-yard 17th hole suddenly was worth $150,000, which Player won with a 5-foot putt after Tom Watson had missed a 10-foot putt and Jack Nicklaus missed his 8-footer. Vijay Singh and Phil Mickelson. It's impossible to not include Singh in this video, as it seems he's butt heads with several different competitors throughout the years. The 2005 Masters will forever be remembered for Tiger Woods' chip-in, but a close second is the moment where Phil Mickelson and Vijay Singh's relationship reached an all-time boiling point. Let's rewind a couple weeks where Singh did himself no favors with golf fans as he asked a tournament official to check on the legality of Woods' driver at Bay Hill. Then later on at the Masters, Singh stirred up some more controversy, but this time it was involving Phil Mickelson. Singh was complaining that Phil's spikes were leaving huge marks all over the greens. Taking things further, he then called over a rules official at the 12th hole, and Mickelson was informed of the complaint. The chair of Augusta National's competition committee told the media, "One of our officials talked to Phil to see if there was a burr on the side of one of his spikes. He very generously, as you know he would, said he would change them when he got in if there was a problem. There wasn't." When Mickelson got back into the locker room, things reportedly got extremely heated when he chose to confront Singh. Multiple golf news websites claimed Mickelson called Singh a mother blank. Now, I can't say what's in that blank, but I'm sure if you use your imagination, you can figure it out. Apparently, things got so heated that Phil even asked Singh if he wanted to settle things outside. Later on, Mickelson said to the media, "I was extremely distracted and would have appreciated if it would have been handled differently or after the round." Sergio Garcia and Nick Faldo. This all stems from the disastrous 2008 Ryder Cup when Faldo turned in the worst European captaincy we've seen in 40 years. Faldo didn't shy away from letting everyone know that he thought Garcia was absolutely useless in the Ryder Cup, highlighting his poor play and attitude, commenting, "half point, bad attitude." Surprisingly, Garcia actually kept his cool, saying, "Are you sure you didn't misquote him? That's unfortunate. You know, there's a lot of things I could say about Nick Faldo, but I'm not going to put myself down to his level." In 2014, on the Golf Channel, Faldo responded to a comment about Garcia's Ryder Cup prowess by saying he has been useless. Faldo brought up Garcia's lack of passion stemming from his breakup with Greg Norman's daughter. While there was some bickering back and forth at Glen Eagles, the best line shared between these two came 4 years later, after Garcia won 3 points in Paris and became Europe's all-time Ryder Cup point leader. When asked how he felt, he said, "This means a lot to me. I have passed some of my heroes today," and Nick Faldo. Now that's a pretty solid mic drop moment right there by Garcia. Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Unlike the previous feuds in this video, this one made its way onto social media like most drama does these days. But before that happened, let's go back to January of 2019. Koepka made a comment about slow play at the Dubai Desert Classic. Now, he didn't mention DeChambeau by name, but at the time, DeChambeau was at the center of conversation for his methodical approach to each shot. "I just don't understand how it takes a minute 20 seconds, a minute and 15 to hit a golf ball. It's not that hard," said Koepka. DeChambeau was asked about it, but responded subtly, saying that a lot goes into a shot and there's a lot of calculating he's doing in 45 seconds. Fast forward to Augusta at the Northern Trust, when a video of DeChambeau taking more than 3 minutes to hit a 70-yard shot went viral.
It appears they're waiting maybe for a group on the other hole. So he actually is invading someone else's space over there. He went down the other quarter. There you go. You can see the other teeing ground right behind him. That's on
This wasn't the only occasion where Bryson was caught taking way too long and Twitter erupted because of it. DeChambeau felt as though Koepka's comments earlier in the year are what caused this to snowball into heavier, consistent criticism from multiple people. Fast forward to a year later in January of 2020, and keeping the trend of taking this beef online, DeChambeau goes after Brooks' physique after he appeared in ESPN's The Magazine's Body Issue.
I don't know if his genetics even make him look good, to be honest. I mean, that body issue, he didn't have any abs. I can tell you that. I got some abs. I don't know if that's against regulation here on Twitch, but I would. But I don't think I can.
Koepka then responded with a pretty epic tweet showing off his hardware. Then, in July of 2020, at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, DeChambeau embarrassingly got into it with a cameraman during the tournament, and again, Brooks took to Twitter to take a quick jab at DeChambeau, posting this gif. Then, my favorite moment between these two happened. At the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational, again, DeChambeau embarrassed himself when he hit a ball near a tree on the 7th hole and called for a rules official to see if he could get relief because, get this, he claimed the ball was resting on an ant hill. Now, not just any ant hill, but a fire ant nest that could potentially be dangerous. And Koepka made sure to take another jab at him later on in that same tournament.
There's an ant.
Now you have to hand it to him, that was pretty funny. Now here is where things went a little too far. Of course, starting on Twitter, Brooks tweeted "sorry bro" at Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers after it was announced that he would be partnering up with DeChambeau to play in the match. DeChambeau responded by saying, "It's nice to be living rent-free in your head," to which Brooks then responded with a video of fans calling Bryson Brooksy. This then led to several fans trolling Bryson and yelling Brooksy at him, and Koepka actually encouraged this behavior by teaming up with Michelob Ultra to give away free beer to any fan who was removed from the tournament.
What's up, guys? It's Brooksy. Just wanted to say, hey, thank you guys for the support. I heard a bunch of you were shouting my name at the golf tournament today. I know I'm not playing, but thank you guys for showing support. And if your time was, I don't know, say cut short at the golf tournament today, DM Michelob Ultra, and we're going to be giving out 50 cases of beer to the first 50 people in case their time was cut short, had any trouble at the tournament, but just as a thank you for showing support. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Meaning continue to yell Brooksy at DeChambeau and get a free beer once they kick you out. Thanks for watching our video. If you haven't yet, drop us a like, leave us a comment, and if you're looking for more golf content, don't forget to subscribe.